Hello, everyone. Welcome to Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we're here talking coffee, tea, thoughts, and conversations. I'm here with my friend and colleague, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we are the Biz Chicks. We want to welcome you to today's broadcast and hope that you'll join the conversation as we talk about, what are we talking about today, Fran?
Well, we are talking about we have a holiday today if you're in the United States, and we get the day off, but why?
Mm-hmm.
Why is there a holiday today? And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. Um, Again, we have a holiday, and now we need to understand what that holiday is all about. And Terry and I thought it would be a good idea to talk about it. In the United States, we are celebrating Juneteenth, and I saw some uh, people put some stuff out, but it was kind of vague.
Mm.
Their explanations were just kind of, what is it, vague and just kind of beige. It wasn't really, didn't explain a good deal. It's just about equity and blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Mm.
So, what is Juneteenth all about, Terry?
Well, I found a great article and I'd like to from the Associated Press, and I'd like to share that with you guys. Um, it says here, let's just talk about it. Juneteenth um, is marked on June 19th, the day when the last enslaved people in the United States learned they were free. Hmm. For generations, Americans have celebrated this day with parades, cookouts, speeches to acknowledge its history because it's really important. And I think that here's one thing I want to share with you. I had no idea what Juneteenth was until I moved to California. And there are a lot of people from Texas living in California, and they celebrated Juneteenth. And so they shared with me in the 80s what Juneteenth was. I'm like, oh, okay, I wasn't aware. I was growing up on the East Coast, in the Northeast, it really wasn't a celebrated thing. So let me share some more with you. It says Americans will celebrate Juneteenth today, this Monday, marking the day when the first enslaved people in the United States learned that they were free. For generations, Black Americans have recognized the end of one of the darkest chapters in U.S. history. And we celebrate it with joy, and we do that when we have our festivals and our parades. For instance, here in Sacramento, California, we're having a Juneteenth festival. It's been going on all weekend. Um, the US government, however, was slow to embrace this. It was only in, and here's why a lot of Americans don't know what this is about. It was only in 2021, which was actually during the pandemic, that President Joe Biden signed a bill and it was passed in Congress to set aside Juneteenth or June 19th as a federal holiday. So it's one of our most recent federal holidays. Um, and just as many people learn what Juneteenth is about, the holidays traditions are under some pressure. There are people who are concerned about it, but we're going to skip over that. Okay. But I do want to say that things are going on, like people are partying without understanding why. Uh, the holiday has become a marketing event. You'll see people, trying to exploit it by suddenly coming out with Juneteenth materials, and then they had to draw them back because they really didn't understand what it was about. So, how did Juneteenth start? The celebrations began with enslaved people in Galveston, Texas. Although President Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation freed enslaved people in 1863, it could not be enforced in many places in the South until the Civil War ended in 1865. Even then, some persons uh, who had profited from the unpaid labor of slaves were reluctant to share the news. Okay. And in an interview in 1941 with Sarah Smalley, she said Sarah Smalley was freed from a plantation near Belleville, Texas. She remembered she recalled in an interview in 1941 that the man she referred to as Old Master came home from fighting in the Civil War and didn't tell the people he enslaved what had happened. So he just came home, sat down, and continued to enjoy that labor. She said, Old Master didn't tell, we was free. Miss Molly said, I think now they say that they worked them 6 months after that, 6 months, and turned them loose on the 19th of June. That's why, we celebrate that day. News of the war had ended and they were free finally reached Galveston when Union Major General Gordon Granger and his troops arrived in the Gulf Coast city on June 19th, 1865. More than 2 months after Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered to the Union um, General Ulysses S. Grant in Virginia. So General Granger delivered the General Order Number 3, which said the people of Texas are informed in accordance with a proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves. And the connection, therefore, existing between them becomes that of employer and hired labor. We've got some comments coming in. Hi, Dr. Tachi. How you doing? She says, Happy Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth. Linda Obo, she says, I need a printout of that information, please, Terry. So I'll put the link in the what do you call it, in the comments. Carlos says American history is brutal. Yeah, I think what we fail to realize is that everyone has paid a price to be here. It's a nation of immigrants, and so we we immigrated in different ways. But let's continue. Let me give you a little more about this. So I just love the way that order reads. The people of Texas are informed that in accordance with the proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights, the rights of property between former masters and slaves, and the connection theretofore existing between them becomes that of employer and hired labor. Slavery was permanently abolished 6 months later when Georgia ratified the 13th Amendment. And the next year, the now free people of Galveston started celebrating Juneteenth, an observance that has continued and spread around the world. Events include concerts, parades, readings of the Emancipation Proclamation. I mean, just astounding. It's a, Juneteenth is actually a blend of the words June and 19th. So the holiday has been called Juneteenth, Independence Day, Freedom Day, Second Independence Day, and Emancipation Day. It began with church picnics, which makes sense because that's all we had was the church, speeches, and spread as Black Texans moved elsewhere. Most United States now hold celebrations honoring Juneteenth as a holiday of recognition, like Flag Day. Juneteenth is a paid holiday for state employees in Texas, New York, Virginia, Washington, and now Nevada as well. Hundreds of companies give workers a day off. And I believe it's a holiday here in California because I know our banks are closed and other institutions are closed. Um, so Opal Lee a former teacher and activist, is largely credited for rallying others behind a campaign to make Juneteenth a federal holiday. The 96-year-old had vivid memories of celebrating Juneteenth in East Texas as a child with music, food, games, etc. And in 2016, this little old lady in tennis shoes walked through her home city of Fort Worth, Texas, and then in other cities before arriving in Washington, D.C. Soon, celebrities and politicians were lending their support. Miss Lee was one of the people standing next to Biden when he signed Juneteenth into law. So, we're excited about Juneteenth. We hope that you will be looking for ways to enjoy Juneteenth, to support the Emancipation Proclamation of the people, to educate one another about this whole event and how it's going on. It says now there's a movement to use the holiday as an opportunity for activism and education with community service projects aimed at addressing racial disparities, educational panels on topics such as healthcare inequities, and the need for parks and green spaces. Like most holidays, Juneteenth has also seen its fair share of commercialism, but we're not going to worry about that. Supporters of the holiday have also worked to make sure Juneteenth celebrations don't forget why the day exists. In 1776, the country was freed from the British, but the people were not all free. Dean Evans, National Director of Communications of the National Juneteenth Observance Foundation, said in 2019, June 19th, 1865, was actually when the people and the entire country was actually free. There's also sentiment to use the day to remember the sacrifices that were made for freedom in the U.S., especially these racially and political charged days. So let us celebrate Juneteenth and remember that our freedoms are fragile and it doesn't take much for things to go backwards. Guys, I hope you'll enjoy Juneteenth. Good morning, Janice. um, Carlos says, wow, I hope we can learn to completely unified as beautiful people. Yes, yes, because all things work together for the good, Carlos. Carlos says, I hate the name personally. It needs to be more powerful. Well, you know, I think it has an ethnic ring to it, and I like it. Juneteenth. It's unique and it reminds us which day it was. You know what I'm saying? So that we can begin to celebrate. So like July 4th. And it is called a number of different things. Remember, I said it's called Emancipation Day. It's also called Second Independence Day. So yeah. Welcome to the celebration of Juneteenth. Fran?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Terry. This is real good. I'm out and about in the park today. Um, this was good information because we really didn't know. A lot of people didn't know what we got the day off, but why?
Exactly, especially with it being such a recent national holiday.
Right. Okay. Why is my bank not open? Why? What's
What is the
happening, and why
What
am
is
I
the
not?
Juneteenth? They need a QR code up there to educate people about what Juneteenth is on the sign.
Right. And just so somebody can understand and learn, we appreciate you taking the time to dig into the history and putting it in the chat. Maybe we can start doing that too, put a QR code up,
Mm-hmm.
where the articles are so somebody can scan it or whatever. But this is our coffee conversation for today. We know it's a holiday for you all, and now we know why it is a holiday. And and you can spread the information and uh, let people know why they have the day off.
Mm, interesting. I think it's
Mhm.
a wonderful thing to be knowledgeable and be able to share that um, because people really don't know. Dr. Josh says, looks like a beautiful day in Sacramento. How are things in Florida?
Yes, because you all been having some interesting weather.
and so have our friends on the East Coast. I hope you're
And
all safe.
right in
Janice
Texas.
says I don't have a day off. Okay, sorry to hear that. Oh
Yeah,
my
so
goodness.
this is really really, this was good.
Mhm.
I can let y'all see what I'm looking at right here. This is welcome to California, people. We get to. I'm up by the river today, Terry.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask where you by the golf course, but no. Okay.
No, I'm up
Oh,
by the river.
Dr. Chachi says it's raining on and off, and it's hot. Okay.
Right.
Well, we just want you to be safe. I saw where you guys have 110 temperatures. All I mean, stupid stuff's going on with the weather these days. But yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, and it's going to be hot. Oh, Carlos says he's at work. I take it you're in air conditioning, Carlos. Okay. I wish I was out walking with you, Janice says. Oh,
Yeah, we might. Terry and I was talking about that, going back and doing our
walk
walk
around the
around the
world.
world on
Hmm.
Periscope. I ain't seen Periscope in a minute, but oh, it's now Twitter, right? Okay. Uh,
Whatever. We can go. We can go around the world here on um StreamYard.
StreamYard.
Yeah, yeah. Have
Yeah. So I'm gonna show you guys the river. I can get up there fast enough for you.
okay.
Uh, uh,
But
but
yesterday, they were celebrating Juneteenth in the park, and they had a number of choirs from all over the Sacramento area, and it was just really, really beautiful. And people were sending pictures. We're sending pictures on their Facebook pages and things to let us know, you know, just how great it really was. So I hope that you guys will enjoy this holiday. And now that you know more about it, I hope that it will resonate with you the way it has resonated with me. Sometimes it just brings tears to my eyes. I have a fun walking app and we can walk around the world, Janice says.
oh, cool.
Okay.
All right, Janice, can you put that in the chat
Mhm,
so we can go download the app?
mhm. So I'm really excited about this whole thing. I didn't know that it became a national holiday so recently. Oh, look at that.
Right.
I
This is
see.
the Sacramento River.
Oh, it looks so peaceful, Fran.
It is.
Well, it looks a lot better than when those folks were camping out, boy. God is good.
So this is Sacramento River, and across the river is West Sacramento,
Hmm.
which is actually Yolo County, not Sacramento County. But I think that's like going across the bridge. Ooh, is
Uh-huh.
that a was that a hawk? I see a hawk. So this is a view from Sacramento, and I hope you guys have a
Wendy says
really,
it's
really
so
good holiday.
beautiful.
Yeah, it is. So, on behalf of BizTix, enjoy your
June.
holiday. Now that you know why, we'll see you tomorrow with TJ.
Guys, remember it's okay to make money in your business. And Carla says, I see a UFO. And Genesis, the Conqueror challenges. Let's see. Linda says, I do my Juneteenth dance annually at the lake in our little town. How nice. Yes, because you are in South Carolina. Okay, one of the beginning ports of the slave trade. I would suspect that you guys celebrate Juneteenth. Janice says, bye. See you soon. See you soon, Janice. Okay, everyone. Remember, it's okay to make money in your business. Go to the front of your own line. If you're looking to be a part of Biz Chicks, you can simply text Biz to 33777 and join our community. We'd love to have you be a part, or you can find us at bizchicks.net. And Linda says, yes, we do. They do celebrate. So, with that, we're going to say, have a great Juneteenth, and we will see you tomorrow with Fran and Fran's hand is Fran and with, he threw me off, and with Terry TJ online everywhere, Terry Johnson online. They'll be talking about strategies for digital marketing. Have a good one, Linda. Bye bye, everyone. See you soon.